Hi, everybody. It's Isabella and Geraldine, and we are doing another video today. It's the 27th of January, and I'm going to be looking at Betty and Barney Hill. It's supposedly an abduction case, UFO abduction case. I know almost nothing about this. Geraldine has a little bit more information, so this will be probably mostly remote viewing. My understanding is that I think they're both deceased. So might be a little bit of mediumship in between all of this stuff. Geraldine will kind of be guiding me along. We're going to start at 10:15 p.m. What's
Yes,
the date? Do you know
I'm
the
gonna,
date?
yeah, I'm
Do you
gonna
know
cut
the
in
date, Miss
here.
Evan?
Yeah. So we're gonna put the address for this as
Mm-hmm.
BBHA. And the date on this is September 19th, 1961, and we're gonna start at 10:15.
PM.
I Yeah, PM. I do want to preface this. We do know Isabella doesn't know anything about this. I barely know anything about this, just some stuff that I myself looked up. I am aware that there is a full story with this, but our intention for this video is to only look right before this incident happened and a little bit after. So it's according to them, Barney and Betty, they had 2 hours where they don't know what happened. So this is what we want to look
So
at.
they understand that they were gone 2 hours, or is this?
They think they
Yeah.
don't have any,
Okay.
according to them, they didn't have any recollection of 2 hours, right? There
Oh,
is
okay.
there is more information after this about dreams that she had and such. I did not get into that. I
Right.
felt us looking at this 2 hours could kind of that like sure I could go back after and try to pinpoint like if you pick up that stuff to validate that stuff, but we're not looking at that. We're only looking at the
Okay.
2 hours of this.
All right, so nothing prior and nothing after. So 10:15
We're
to
gonna
about
go
12:30-ish or
well
so.
this from what I understand, this situation happened at around 10:30 p.m. So we're gonna go for remote viewing. We're gonna go 15 minutes before that, so 10:15 till whatever. I think it was like
Okay.
they thought it was like 10:30 to 12:30 or 1 something like that. So, but we're gonna
Okay.
start at 10:15.
All right. So there might be a couple ways that I switch doing this. So there might be some mediumship and there also will be some remote viewing. All right, so let me get started. All right. So vehicle, it feels like light green or green. Uh, four doors. Like this is an old, obviously 1961. Um, I don't know. I feel like she's driving. I'm getting female driving. I know this area. I feel very familiar with this area. Kind of just feels like exploring, or I'm not ready to go to bed. Um, Exploring, like I'm following. Like, did you see that? This is definitely going to go between mediumship and I'm going to stay with the female, Betty. I really feel she's driving. If she wasn't driving, she's definitely navigating. I get she's driving. Um, it looks like some kind of light. Like it's moving and I'm trying to follow this. I still do not feel like we're at 10:30 yet. Definitely still 10:15. Um, no street lights, nothing feels lit, but I feel very comfortable with where I am. So I'm not going to get any names or roads, Carly, but I feel like I'm on a main road or a bigger road that would go somewhere. And then I'm forking off to my left. There's trees, there's lots of trees over there, but I can almost see like a light in these trees, but it's bright. I think someone's thinking it's like a train light, but I'd be interested to know if there's a train anywhere near there. It's not eye level, but I feel like it's not 30 feet tall. Um, so it's this dead end area. I see it and it's moving and then it goes back to my right. So there's gear shift is on the top because I feel her go. So he's now in the driver's seat. That is so weird. I can't tell who's driving. Like I feel a male pulling something reverse and then looking behind me. I don't think it's very far. Um, I would imagine from what I'm getting, there's a train track or train in that goes through the town that they're driving towards. I don't know why that would be important. Mm, maybe I'm backing up less than a quarter mile and then I'm back on this main street again. But again, there's no traffic. Uh, huh. I've lost sight of the light, but I feel if I go back that way and then all of a sudden, there. Okay. Okay, so I'm back on this road and like all the hairs on my body, everything just feels very electric. I don't hear any sound. It's almost like this, like a low bat hum, like electricity. And then it's just bright, bright, bright. And seriously feels like it's all of a sudden just right there. I don't feel that I can move. And I'm now the female again, Betty. Like I literally felt paralyzed and I don't have awareness of what's going on around me. I don't know that I'm going to be able to, let me see if I can push through any of this or move above maybe her conscious memory. So I'll switch back to remote viewing and I'll be in the back seat of this vehicle as best as I can. This is so bizarre. It's like I'm being, not me, I'm watching them being moved or like pulled out a window, but I don't feel that anybody would have an abrasion or a mark on them or a scratch or even an awareness. It's almost like this is done in my sleep, but I'm awake and I'm still focused on this light. This sounds crazy. Um, and then all of a sudden, I'm not anywhere around the car again. They're not. Hold on. Where did they go? I want to think up. Um, I'm no longer distracted by a light, but I'm just not I'm not in that vehicle and I'm not being pulled out of that vehicle. I'm
Are you
just in
talking about
another
their
location.
Are you talking about their bodies as well, or just their
No,
consciousness?
they're like the whole thing, like
Oh,
their
the whole
bodies
thing.
just feel to be no, no, the I can tell you what happened after. Feels like the car is in a different place. Um, and it's almost like they were put back into the car and like out of quasi hypnotic state. But so let me do that and then I'll go back. So maybe I'm a couple miles down the road, but I feel this is hypnosis, is what it feels like to me. Like someone's going, okay, now you'll just drive. There's got to be a railroad because I just keep hearing like, the bells when a train is coming, like that. Like I hear that. Um, and then things are different. Like I don't know if they're in a different location than when they started this drive, like in the car. It just feels like I've been awake from anesthesia or hypnosis, and I'm down the road, but not far enough like I've been driving. Um, okay, that is super bizarre. and I just kind of feel stunned. I'm going to go back to mediumship. Hold on. Like, I can't speak. There's not clear memory of any of this right away. Like, it just kind of, did that happen? Did that not? Like, what? Things feel very confused. Um, Seriously, it feels like I'm waking up out of anesthesia. Um, it's not a grogginess, it's a forgetfulness of memory. All right, hold on. Like, things feel very bright, but it just feels like if I look at something with any kind of white background, it would be very illuminated. Things would be very bright. So again, I went from being taken out of the car to being just back in the car and down the road, maybe a couple miles, I don't know, with no clear memory of what the heck happened and not even an awareness that anything happened at that moment. Just things feel weird. And I almost don't know that I can speak, but I don't have any experience to pull on this. And usually that's what I do with mediumship. I pull from personal experience I have done for this. Okay. So, what I'm going to try to do now is to see, can you tell me if anything I got was right?
Yeah, like that sound that you're hearing right before this happened, right? I don't know how much you want me to get into it, but the sound,
Not a lot.
they said it sounded like a tuning fork, that someone had dropped a tuning fork on the
It's
back
like a
of their,
hum, but yeah,
yes,
it's
like
like
a
this
vibration
hum. Yes,
and
but
this
it's
almost
like,
tinkling sound, right? Yeah. So
I don't know.
they hear that right when this situation happens and right when they become conscious of them driving.
Okay, okay. Like, but I feel physically in my body that like electricity has gone through my body, and not in a painful way, but just everything
They felt
feels
like
very.
they said they felt like unusual tingling. That's
Oh,
how they
I think I
described
might have
it.
said that. Like, it's like literally everything, like the hair on my arms is standing up. Everything feels like my senses are aware, but not any memory or vision seems very acute. But I'm not, I'm only noticing certain things, and that really feels like that might have been told that you need to, like, this is what you'll see. Um, all right. Okay. Was there a railroad track anywhere near here?
That I'm not sure of about a
Okay.
railroad track.
All right. And were they a couple of miles down the road or in a different place when their
Oh,
memory
yeah,
comes back?
like when they come back, they realize
Uh-huh.
that they're 35 miles away from where they originally, like, I guess, lost
Okay.
consciousness.
Okay. So I'm gonna now try to, you know what? I don't know that it would be, I'll try, but I think I'm gonna move forward with it. Let me try to grab that little bit of time from being like, but like, um it feels like the boneless chicken farm or the ranch where you don't like, it's just like, where do boneless chickens come from? Like, I don't have any bones in my body, or everything feels flexible or pliable and nothing feels like it would break. It just feels like the bones were taken out. Let me
That's
see if I can
weird.
get information about I know. I just like, it's like, how do I get out of this vehicle? She feels a little bit, neither of them feel light or like it would be easy for somebody to pull them out of the car without there being scratches and scrapes and maybe a bruised elbow or something. But like, that's what happened. All
Well,
right.
can I tell you a few things about that since we're talking about that? So she
Mm-hmm.
had, after they go home and they're kind of trying to regroup, she had a new dress on and it was torn in a few places and had a stain on it.
Okay.
Barney, Barney's shoes were scuffed and he had this compulsion to examine his groin. Like this is what this
Okay.
is what it was said when I was watching it. There wasn't
All
like this
right.
thing. It was just these few little things on them. that were not
But if
there.
somebody were to pull me out of my car window, I absolutely promise you there would be marks on my body and I would resist that and it would be not smooth. Like I just feel like,
Right.
whoosh, whoosh, you know. All right, so let me see if I can get what happens when they're pulled out or where they are. Uh I just want to look up. But I don't know that that light is still there, but I just want to follow that. Um hold on. It's like a void, but it's not a void. So I feel like you can see the light, and then all of a sudden it's black and it would blend in with everything else. So it would have cloaking, maybe? I don't know. Um, I'm in that. I can't say it's hands because it doesn't feel like hands. Kind of feel x-rayed or explored. X-rayed would be, but it feels so much beyond an x-ray. Um, I'm gonna bypass all that because I think anything, I'm gonna bypass that. I'll move forward to home. I think I feel like my memories are starting to come back. I feel stunned, flabbergasted, like I wanted to. Did they have a child? There's somebody
Yeah.
feels around a child, or like I have to tell, like someone is at my home, is what I feel like. Like, oh my gosh, guess what happened? Like I feel the need,
Oh,
but I don't.
I think Betty called her sister.
Okay, there's somebody that I like. I feel like a babysitter or somebody like I have to tell you about this, but I don't even know how to tell you this, and I don't think it would make a lot of sense. But I feel my um emphasis and my trustworthiness and how adamant I am about what I'm saying lends credibility to all of this. So she's talking. I don't feel sleep from either of these. He feels more inclined to sleep and rest. Like he feels more like the need to recuperate in some way. So to me, his energy feels like he's getting over a flu or a cold or something, and that feels rather prolonged. So maybe several days his energy was sluggish. With her, I just feel like invigorated. I'm seeing lights with her, like colorful lights, like beads, orbs, balls of lights. Um, oh, there's something in her head. Um, I just feel like she would be able to telepathically communicate with whatever this thing is. Um, I feel like whatever happens, she's gonna have memories of this, and he feels more subdued in that. So maybe just vocally not expressing it as well. I think that able to she certainly feels to have a better memory of all of this than him, or maybe he just didn't want to speak about it as much. But they both did. Was she hypnotized after? You don't know, do you?
No, I don't know if she was hypnotized. But I do know what you're
After.
saying is true, though, about that, where he kind of went where he didn't really talk about it and she did.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's true.
So since we don't have a lot of information about the after, and that seems to be the way that I could get more information, because when I try to go into this void where they were taking, where I kind of feel like they went, but again, this is not like 300 feet in the sky, 10,000 feet in the sky. It feels 30 feet. Um, like, but I
But
don't
why
think
did
you
it
could see it if you were standing there looking at it.
But why did it
I'm
happen?
sorry.
Just, I said, why did
All
it
right.
happen? Just
Okay.
them being there?
Okay. Nope. Let's see if I can figure that out. Hold on. I'll just do mediumship
Yeah, I
with
was going to
her.
say, can we talk to her?
Yeah. So I feel excited. I feel happy. I feel like I don't give to what anyone thinks. She feels very comfortable with this because this is the truth. This is her. This is the truth. Um, so I feel like she was very vocal. She's showing me interviews, but it's like, I think there was at least one, probably two rather large interviews. I don't know this guy's name, but he used to do interviews back in the 60s and 70s. I recognize his face. I think she did an interview with him, um, like public. So she believes exactly what happened. I think there are weird marks that were on her body that would kind of show up at certain times, look like these little red splotches. Those seem to mean something. Almost feels like whatever they put inside of her kind of came leaching out. I don't understand that, but that's how she's showing it to me. But again, it's not constant. It's like these weird marks, like about like that big. Maybe in her arms, definitely in her thighs. She's showing me spots on her bodies where these would sometimes come out. Doesn't feel painful. But there's like a small odor, but it feels very medicinal. I have no clue. Um, Hold on. So this kind of feels experimental as she's showing it to me, or she felt that that it was experimental. Um, I think this is racial, but not in the way you and I would think. Um, and like observed before, and then definitely observed after. I wouldn't be surprised if she had stated that she had experiences with whatever this thing is coming back. And she just should be like lights in a window, lights or something coming down that I don't know why this wouldn't be obvious to everybody else. I don't know. Doesn't feel daily. Um, she feels like she has a good understanding. I think this thing left her with some ability outside of telepathic ability with these things, so perhaps she couldn't be around electrical things very well. Um, she remote view. She's got ability. Um, I think she
So she
enjoyed
had more of an
this.
experience than he did, right? After
I
the
think she
fact?
has more of a recall. I think she has more of a recall. Not that he did not, but I feel fear and maybe a little bit of shame with him. And with her, I just feel this. "Oh, I'm talking about it, and I don't care what anyone says. Like, this is what happened. So I feel truth, like conviction with her. And with him, I think it would just be fine if he actually feels like this probably was psychologically damaging to him. So I don't know if there were nightmares, fears, phobias that came up. I'm going to bet yes. With her, she, she just has a stronger personality. So I think she pushed through all of that or was like, screw you, that I don't care. Um,
Okay.
okay, sorry for that. Um, Actually, the video was paused for a second because the female Betty kept showing me a talk show host's face that I could not. I could recognize him, but I couldn't get the name, and she showed it to me like 4 or 5 times. The name was Dick Cavett. Um, and she just showed me him smoking during these interviews with her. So, okay, got some validation on that. So, like, I don't understand why she kept showing me that face. So that I will watch that interview, or that interview at least feels important to her. Um, I think the husband might have had something with cardiac, coronary, respiratory, but she's also showing me like swelling in his legs, and I think vascular issues with him. I have no idea why any of this would be important. And with her, I just feel this pushing through everything and a little, certainly more vitality. She feels her story was absolutely credible, absolutely true. And I think she continued to recover memories. And
Did she ever go through hypnosis? Because we, I mean, we were
oh, yeah,
asking
yeah,
that.
she's showing me hypnosis. Like, she's showing me hypnosis like several times. Um, so this is back in the 60s. So everybody smoked. And she's like showing me people smoking around her while getting hypnosis, but being interviewed and questioned, people wanting to malign her story, whatever. But like, but she's also showing me like military people in military uniforms. These are high ranking with caps, hats on, like actual
I
hat.
do I do know
Um,
she went and talked to somebody about that. There was like
oh,
this
I think there was a
program.
lot of people that talked to her. A lot of people
Yeah, there
talked to
was like
her.
a program
She's showing me.
specifically for that at that time though.
I feel like she would have been an advocate for this type of thing occurring, especially toward, like in the late 70s and 80s. If she's alive, like, yeah, she said she's alive. So she would have been a big advocate for that. So I don't know if she was in MUFON. I don't think that. But like, I just feel she would have been one of the trailblazers for this field in her time. She reminds me of Madeline Maria O'Hare, just like that. The atheist. You're probably way too young to know that, but just very outspoken and very like, this is how it is, and I don't give a crap what your belief system is. She's not that abrasive, but she's outspoken like that. She's telling me that like the older she got, the more memories returned, or the communication. Um, I feel like something happened to her voice too. So I don't know if she had a raspy voice at the end or it was hard for her to talk, but she is showing me like she wasn't able to communicate all of this. Um, so we might want to do another video where I just do her and have her fill me in on what happened. Because for me to see it, I get that choking sensation again,
Oh, so when
and
you see
it's
it, that choking sensation happens.
yeah, when I see it, that choking sensation happens. So, like, I feel I'm getting blocked, but I feel like I could get the information from her. But that does kind of feel like another video of just having her. Let me see. All right. So she's showing me telepathic communication. This does not feel well. It was happening to her, but as time went on. So I'm gonna go in the 80s, 1980s. So I don't know if her health was declining then or what. Like, I just don't feel as mobile. She's showing me swelling in her legs. So maybe she had some cardiac stuff as well too. But I just feel like her life was at that time, 80s, and she's saying 90s, so she was still alive in the 90s. Her life was spent here, like a lot of communication with them. Um, Q&A. She's showing me two, maybe three smaller beings, entities, something that she would have regular, like they were watching her, or see, that sounds so invasive. She was able to communicate with them. I don't feel them like standing in the corner of a room, although they might have been. Um, I feel the end of her life was not great. I feel very limited as to what my body will do at any of this times. I don't know if she's wheelchair bound or housebound for a while, but that would not be surprising. Like, she's not showing me a lot of vitality with this at the end of her life. Um, but it's okay because it's here. Like, this is her world now. So it'd be like someone that was paralyzed or lost their voice. Not that she was any of those things, but that she would prefer to spend her time communicating with them that way. And that they were kind of monitoring her. That's the word I'd like to use. Monitoring her. Um,
So was she used
mm,
what did this situation happen just so she could voice it to the outside world? Because that's what I'm
no,
trying to figure out.
no,
Like, what
no,
was
no,
the
no.
point
Mm-mm.
of this happening?
No,
And
to
then she
me,
gets,
like, I think this is an interracial couple, whatever that means. And I think there was some curiosity about that, and maybe biologically so. And I don't know if she's pregnant, but like, it would not, that would not be surprising if it was like a very early 5, 6, 7 week pregnancy. So maybe I want to say curiosity, but that's not right. That's not right. I don't know. I don't. I. Can, I. I'm. I'm trying to get this from two different places, and I've been blocked out of one. And I keep hopping around with her, and she's still taking me to the end of her life or what that experience was like. So I feel this vitality, this vocal advocate for what she went through, and probably supporting others in this 60s, 70s, maybe up to like 83, 84, maybe maybe 82. And then that kind of waning a little bit. I'm putting it with physical health, but I don't know that that is correct. It just feels like she would have pulled back from that somewhat. And, but I don't feel her communication or interest waned at all. It just feels very her with them and then with her and maybe not so expressed. So I think if we want to know more, and I do, then maybe there's a group of questions that we could come up with and do this again. Um, Trying to get more insight, and I can keep her a little bit more focused on what occurred or her memory or what she feels occurred during that time. So, how does
Yeah.
that sound?
Yeah,
I
definitely.
don't know. I try to go into that void spot and my throat like just closes up. So perhaps the person to get it from would be the source.
Right.
I can get Barney too, but I think maybe focusing on one at a time would be better. And I'd really like to get some validation, or you're completely wrong on what I got so far. So I think that's something we could look at as well too. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Hopefully we'll have a part two if we even post this. Have a great day.
Bye.